The following transmission is an utterly nonsense podcast exclusive presentation. Cue that motherfucking 8-bit intro.
Okay, so John did this whole big commentary thing for E3, and obviously E3 is sort of like the Nerdist gamer. It is the go-to event. It's the Comic-Con of like video games. That's the best way to compare it. Exactly.
Yeah, it's for press.
Yeah, so kind of sucks for the general public, but whatever.
So, oh my god! Hey guys, jeez, I'm back.
Oh, you were gone?
Yeah. Dude, I was in the Speed Force for like the past 4 months. What happened?
Oh my god. Jack's alive.
Yeah, jeez. Oh god. Dude, it was so weird in here.
Oh my god,
I missed the Flash episode.
Yes, you missed an entire season of Flash.
Had a
crap, man. Oh.
You mean fucking Bart.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Dude.
Okay, so
just turn it to Jack. Get it what it is, what it isn't.
Okay, so
just
to stay on
Those are jerks.
So just to stay on topic here, E3 was at this point a little over a week ago.
Well, if you do this the Monday after tomorrow, it'll be 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, I can't hear you when you're all talking over me, but yeah, so it was a decent amount of time ago, but by far, the most anticipated game of the year, gonna be Fallout 76. I think you're... Really?
Only for you.
So, we, John did record a all E3 episode without me. Not that I hold any sort of grudge. But,
He just says it passive aggressive.
But, we decided to do a Fallout episode just because, I'm a diehard Fallout fan. You've all had your own experiences with Fallout except for John, who is very uncultured in that regard.
Refuses to play good games.
Exactly. So, just to start us off here, let's just see where we're all at in terms of experience with the game series. I personally have played Fallout 4, Fallout Shelter, Fallout New Vegas, and Fallout 3. So,
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch spin-offs and stuff.
There's five main games. Well, 4 main games, 1 side game.
Do you consider
and then that one game that no one ever considers, BOS.
Yep.
Yeah, Brotherhood of Steel doesn't count.
But, Brotherhood.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you sided with them, didn't you? Well, that'll be a later question once we get to the.
They were kind of guys that just didn't care about anyone's well-being or that works.
Okay. Eric, you've only played 4, right?
No.
Yeah.
What?
He said
No.
Okay. Well, which other ones have you played?
3.
The missing Eric. We have
Is
to find
he
him.
there, or is his audio gone? Because I can't hear him.
I'm right here. Hey guys. Can you guys not hear me? Can you guys not hear me?
You see, the Speed Force requires at least one person inside it.
Oh, no!
Absorbed.
Oh shit, I have to over.
Oh god, here he comes. He's writing.
Wait. What?
Fuck. Okay, hold
He's
on.
typing in the
It's
chat.
a letter in a bottle.
Guys, you know the mic works, right? Can't you?
Okay, now we can hear you. Now we can hear you.
Oh, we got him out. Big Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah,
my
there
thing.
you go.
Okay, well, we probably replaced him with Drew Paris, so we're good there.
Wait, hold on. Let me
Okay,
call him real quick. Oh, that's right.
Okay, so...
we went to screw him, guys.
Okay, so, Eric, which other ones have you played?
3.
Okay, after all that, he's
That's
still
about it.
playing, isn't he? Fantastic.
Eric, how's your internet?
I'm right here, Can't you hear me?
No.
That I heard.
Yeah.
Are we being pranked? What do you mean? You guys can't hear me? Yeah, now we can. Stays silent.
Okay.
Eric, this isn't funny.
Can Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Say something other
Okay.
than "Can we hear you?"
Oh. 3.
Okay.
He knows the answer.
I think we're all on the same page now. Eric, which other games in the Fallout series have you played?
3. 3. 3.
Okay, so you played 3, but you haven't played 4. Is that right?
No.
I think he's played 3 and 4.
Okay.
No.
And New Vegas.
He's played something, so
Only
let's just.
Did you play Fallout 2?
talking.
No one's played
In.
Fallout 2, let's be honest.
Word. Sentences.
Alright, so,
3.
CJ,
So anyway.
carry us.
Okay, so, for those of us who have played 4, which seems to be just me, Mike, and Jack, first of all, I guess me and Mike do have the most experience in this department. So, Mike, what's your favorite game in the series?
This
before we go
department.
on?
What is this? Wait, department?
Can I say my favorite parts of the different games instead?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
it's kind of hard.
Yeah.
3, I love the design, the aesthetic. It's darker. It's more, it's more green, and it looks more like a survival game. And then New Vegas, it was just huge. It was a huge landscape. The creatures were more deadly, I felt, and it was a good story. And then fucking 4, the graphics. I liked that you could do more with it. You didn't have to just finish the game and that was it. There was more to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one great thing we know about 76 already. The render engine, the graphics in general look pretty much identical to Fallout 4, just from what we've seen already. Yeah, so, I'm in the minority of the Fallout camp where, I actually think 4 is probably the best game in the series. And, obviously, New Vegas is a very close second for me. Yeah, a lot of people think, a lot of people will cling to 3, a lot of people will cling to New Vegas.
Oh, you mean that 4 is not that loved?
Yeah, well, 4, had its haters, it had its lovers.
That's because everyone thinks it catered to a new fan base too soon. And they're like, it's ruined, just like Skyrim ruined the Elder Scrolls series. Wah.
Okay, so, I mean, the game series is constantly evolving.
Skyrim
None of
ruined video games.
When it really comes down to it, none of the games are fundamentally alike. There's great differences between each of them. And why I really love 4, aside from the graphics, I really love the whole storyline. I really love the different factions. I really love all the side quests, even if they do get a little bit murdery. Yeah, that's the one complaint, just that the side quests are fairly undiverse. So yeah, just to go for those of us who have played 4, first of all, who did you guys side with, like, your first time through?
Brotherhood.
Really? So I'm the only one who went with Railroad.
Howard.
Damn.
The who?
The Railroad.
Railroad.
Synth-lovers.
Bethesda.
Bitches that don't matter.
Honestly, I kind of agreed with their whole message. You really think about it. The synths in Fallout 4 are basically an allegory for slavery. They're basically an allegory for every disadvantaged group in society. So I don't know. At the time, at least, I vibed with that. And the Minutemen were obviously a close second for me. I went with them the same time through. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Okay, so just a few things that we've learned about, like, Fallout 76, which is the next one in the series. So just to set us up,
Well, depends on are you talking about, like, actual, like the newest one to come out, or?
Well, when I'm talking about 76, I mean, the next game in the series, the one that's immediately following. So, that's the next game in the series. That's what was announced at E3, or before E3, but, like, more in-depth at E3, so more gameplay and stuff.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it is. So that's actually where I wanted to go before we get into, like, specifics, how it changes from Fallout 4. So just to set up the timeline for our listeners who may be unaware, for John, who obviously is very, what's the word? Uncultured.
Anti.
So
I will say I
Johnny,
bought
what's
New
nice?
Vegas years ago on Steam. It and all of the DLC was on sale for $5. So I said, "Whoa, that's a good deal," and I bought it, and I never played it.
yeah, I bought it for like
I thought you were gonna say it was
$2
just
for
broken.
PS3.
Violence, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so
Can we just say one thing about 76 though?
yeah, sure. What do you got?
It's gonna be broken right out of the fucking bat.
That is
When you
It's
say-
gonna be
bad.
so fucking glitchy and broken.
Well,
Just like all Bethesda games.
like all of the games by Bethesda have been glitchy. Like, you know, I haven't played Skyrim that much, but if the Fallout games are any indication,
I'll
you
not
know,
remember. How
they're not perfect games by any stretch of the imagination. What's up?
Not all that bottle. On it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's bound to happen. When you really
That's a
think
lot of
about it,
games.
gaming is sort of the newest accessible medium.
Yeah, but Grand Theft Auto didn't come with like a game-breaking glitch in the first like story in the first fucking like level.
Okay,
Oh, yeah?
fair
Good
enough.
point.
You,
Am I yelling?
Yes. So, yeah, we can barely hear you, Eric, if you're cutting out. Like, we hear
I'm
bits
yelling
and
right
pieces.
now because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Eric, I told you to reduce your input sensitivity.
Now you fucked him up, John.
No,
Thanks
it
a lot,
should've done
John.
The opposite. I bet he increased instead of decreasing it.
Okay,
No, I just
so,
increased it now. Can you hear me?
yeah, we can hear you.
Am I yelling?
Okay,
That's a
so...
big thing we don't know.
So what was the big glitch in Fallout 4? Like, you know, I didn't get the game until, like, about a year after it came out, which was around the same time I got my PS4. But, yeah, so what was the big glitch, Mike?
I actually never had a glitch in that. I was talking about Skyrim with the fucking troll.
Okay, Skyrim I never really got into, just the whole fantasy element, the whole
And
mysticism.
Fallout New Vegas.
Okay. What about New Vegas?
I couldn't actually finish the quest line because I had killed an NPC earlier in the game, which ruined everything.
Okay.
And it doesn't let you not kill it. It doesn't tell you like, hey, this character's important like the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
This character has no defense. So
Okay. Well, see, I think that's one of the things they've fixed in Fallout 4. Just essential characters, or characters marked essential, are basically unkillable, which sort of gets rid of the whole open world element, but, you know, I can see why they did that. Again,
Their
just
actions
another
have
improvement with the newer games.
consequences.
So just to establish the whole timeline of the Fallout universe for John and for our less Fallout-centric listeners.
Like me?
So basically, Fallout takes place in this alternate universe, very similar to our own, where the Cold War just never sort of stopped.
Dystopia.
I mean, it's basically an apocalypse. And dystopia is a better word
Yeah,
for it. But, so basically, we got to such a conflict with the other, like, communist superpowers, mainly China and Russia, that we eventually just bombed the crap out of each other.
Thank you, Jesus.
Or more specifically, they bombed the crap out of us, and we have no idea what happened to them. We're just sort of assuming they're all, you know, dead or nuked or radioactive.
Burning.
Yeah. So, Mike might be more familiar with Fallout 1 and 2 and, you know, any of the early spin-offs. No?
no, Fallout 1 and 2, like I have no clue about them.
Okay. Well, at least from what
Except
I
for, like,
know...
the story.
Yeah, so at least from what I know, they were both sort of this early RPG style game, very much what you would have seen in like late 90s desktop gaming. And both took place like in the western United States. I think they were both in California, hence the New California Republic in New Vegas and Fallout 3. Wait, were they in Fallout 3? They were, right?
Fallout 3 was in Washington, so...
Okay, so, yeah, who were the main... The main players were Brotherhood of Steel and,
The Enclave.
Enclave, yeah. So, okay, so New California Republic wasn't in it. It's more of a West Coast thing. So in around 2066, that's when bombs fall. You know, because of the changes in culture, because we live in a more militaristic society, we didn't have the same advancements in technology. So, you know, we're sort of seeing a lot of this vintage entertainment, black and white television.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a drink.
I'm home.
Precisely. Plus, you know, all the 50s aesthetic. But
Oh my God.
and you know, a big band apparently never went away, which I'm kind of cool with. But at the same time, you have these really advanced weapons. Like, you have laser rifles. You have... you have these fucking power armor suits, which... Another great thing about Fallout 4 was the power armor suits. Yeah. Okay. So, 2066, the bombs drop. Fallout 1 and 2, I think we're in California. I could be wrong.
I think you're right.
I know one of them was. I'm not sure if both of them were. Again, I never really played them. I would get them for Steam, but, Steam barely runs on Mac, so... Yeah. So, fast forward to, I think it's 2066, or not 2066, 2266 that Fallout 3 takes place, and correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Bike and Eric would know better than I would. But,
I don't know specific years, but that sounds right. I think since John's not really participating, he can fact check us.
It might be 2177. Like, again, the years kind of threw me off.
Or Fallout 2?
3.
Fallout 3.
Let's find out.
Is that your final answer? Survey says...
2277.
Make a little more
Says,
sense.
okay,
2277.
there was a nuclear apocalypse in the year 2077, and the main story takes place in 2277.
Okay,
I just
so
said
that makes more sense. Okay, so...
11 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Wait, that's 200 years?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I was way off.
Yikes.
Well, no, I said 2066 was when the bombs dropped initially.
I thought Jack said this was 11 years later.
No, this is like 200. It's a difference of like 200 years when the bombs dropped. And Fallout 4 takes place in 87. New Vegas takes place somewhere between the two. Just to go through a brief overview of the whole storyline. 3 takes place in post-apocalyptic DC. You have the Brotherhood of Steel, which is basically an offshoot of the American military, and you have the Enclave, which is supposedly the new form of the American government. Both are sort of striving to take over this region and become the most, they want to become the sovereign power. They want to become the high, holy leader of the land. And, the whole quest for power is like one of the ongoing conflicts of the Fallout series. So New Vegas is a little more complex than that. Obviously, you have this... that's the nicest way, or that's the most simple way to say it. So, takes place in the Mojave Desert, specifically around Nevada, around New Las Vegas, post-apocalyptic Las Vegas.
I think it's Nevada.
Well, the Mojave Desert sort of stretches through Nevada and the sort of surrounding areas. So I think part of it does take place in California, hence the presence of the new California Republic.
I think the border of the map is like the next state.
Yeah.
In the bottom southwest corner. Because I see a sign for another state, but it says like you can't go any further.
Okay, so it's mostly Nevada.
Vegas.
Yeah. Well, so again... New Vegas is a great game to start off with, just because, especially for like a game of that era, like they perfectly captured the spirit of Vegas.
I have the official answer to your question.
And it's not like you're some predetermined, like you're not a fault dweller. You're just a.
You're basically a mailman, honestly. Like you're a courier.
New Vegas is an open-world environment that encompasses a region consisting of parts of Nevada, California, and Arizona.
Yeah.
You were right, CJ.
Yeah. Okay, so...
He is the expert.
Yeah, I've played all of these, like, multiple times. 3 is the only one that, I've really only played 1.5. So, obviously I'm a fan of the games. I'm going to know a decent amount about them. So what else? So yeah, it's sort of this whole complex situation between the new California Republic, who's trying to basically bring back the government. They've basically formed a government out of what was California, and they're trying to take over Eastern expansion. They're trying to take over the entire U.S. So, and again, these guys actually seem like more classic American government. Like they seem like what we would have nowadays. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of forgettable almost, again, if you have two pretty powerful bodies striving for power, there's going to be some conflict. You never really do see what's going on between them and the Brotherhood of Steel in New Vegas. Caesar's Legion is the main enemy of that game, or
Fuck Caesar. But I do like that whatever clothes you're wearing is like whatever faction, like how the other factions respond to you.
Yeah, which honestly, it makes a lot more sense than, just they'll recognize you as being you no matter what,
I miss the karma. I do miss karma.
That always sort of bugged me. Like, I'm kind of glad they got rid of that for 4 and probably 76 too.
Well, 76 doesn't. There's no way. God, it's only players.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, that's not true. There's going to be some NPCs. There's going to be some solo player function.
I thought it was confirmed it was only people.
Well, so we'll get into that in a minute. I do want to finish sort of setting up this universe. Just
Fallout 76 takes place in 2102, 25 years after the nuclear war.
Okay, so that's way earlier. Okay, so we'll get into that in a minute. I do want to finish explaining New Vegas.
It was 3 that set up the story for 76.
Yeah. Okay. So just to go over New Vegas just to finish up going over New Vegas briefly. So, the Caesar's Legion is basically the anarchist group. They want to destroy everything. They want their version of Caesar, a guy who actually calls himself Caesar, to basically rule over everything. They'll kill anyone who doesn't side with them, yada, yada, yada. You've seen authoritarian governments before. I shouldn't have to explain this. But no, they're fucking badass. They'll fucking just destroy everything if they had the chance. Yeah. So, again, New Vegas, great game to start off with, and John, you should definitely go with that if you really want to get into it at all. Like, you have the game already, so just play it.
Yeah.
So, Fallout 4 takes place a few years after New Vegas. This one takes place in Massachusetts, specifically in the Boston area. For whatever reason, Boston seems to take up most of post-apocalyptic Massachusetts. But, yeah. Yeah, I know it is a little bit weird. Just it's almost like they've never been to Boston or they've never been to Massachusetts, and they just assume Boston is like 90% of the state.
It's almost like they've never been to any middle states.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to Boston in a couple weeks. Like, my one cousin's getting married, so I've actually never been, but sounds fun, and I like the historical element of it. But again, another reason I really love Fallout 4 over the other games in the series, I just love the aesthetic of post-apocalyptic Boston. Just the historical elements, the whole, history repeats itself. It's an interesting, yeah. Oh, yeah, just seeing Diamond City. Fucking cool settlement, Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. They repurposed, like, this abandoned baseball stadium to become, this like grandiose settlement, the greatest city in all of the apocalypse, except for New Vegas.
Until we see New York, I won't say that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still not. Honestly, like, we know one of the first bombs was dropped on New York. We know one of the first bombs was dropped on PA. So I'm expecting those not to be in the sequels.
Well, PA was an expansion for 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could go to Harrisburg.
Oh. Okay.
You mean they dropped it on Philadelphia, which is arguably not even PA at that point.
It was either Pittsburgh or Harrisburg you could go to.
Okay. Honestly, I 3 was the one I really didn't get into too deeply. Nothing against 3.
It has aliens, CJ.
Yeah, so does 4.
Aliens.
Yeah. So I actually did run a poll on this for You good, Jack?
Subtle reference.
Oh, we really did. So, so, I've been trying to get more active with the Utterly Nonsense Twitter account, so I've been posting polls for each of the audio-only episodes, and the most recent poll, I did run a Fallout poll just for the hell of it.
Oh, really?
I really just asked our very limited fan base what the best game in the series was, and I specifically asked for 3 New Vegas, 4 and Shelter.
Right.
Weirdly enough, 3 was...
Did anyone say Shelter?
19% of the people who answered actually did. Like, yeah, I know. So again, we don't have too many votes on it right now. Yeah, Shelter's the one that was for like iPhone and Android, so it's a phone game. Yeah.
Oh my god, that was what.
Am I here? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, for once.
Jack, stop talking.
Eric.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is Eric actually here?
I'm here. I'm talking. Can you hear me?
I'll
Am
take
I
that as a
yelling?
no.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes,
There
yes,
you
we
go, you're green
can.
again.
Eric of all the show.
Okay.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Free!
4.
That's all
Yeah,
Eric.
the only
that's,
commentary he
sorry.
provides.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
here.
3's at the very end with 9% of the vote. New Vegas and Fallout 4 are both tied for 36% of the vote, and Shelter's at, the second place spot technically at 19%. Again, we don't have too many recipients yet, so,
Unless we had...
yeah, I'd be anxious to see if that changes at all, because, again, the diehard Fallout fans will always say New Vegas was the best one. And
I'm looking at it here. There are 12 votes with 2 days left. Fallout 3 is coming in at 8%. Fallout Shelter, 17. Fallout 4, 33, leaving New Vegas at 42.
Okay, so someone just voted, like, within the last minute.
Yeah, that was me.
I'm still seeing... Okay, there you go.
I needed a way to see the results.
Okay. Well, so it's not too shocking, but, yeah. I'm fine with that, actually. Like, I'm fine with New Vegas being at the top. Again, we don't have too many votes yet, but, I imagine, like, the results are going to stay around there. I wouldn't be... Like, you do have some people who will cling to 3 as being the best, but, it's okay to be wrong. Okay, so yeah, you guys retweet that so we can actually get more accurate results with that. Yes, Eric, you are our Twitter slave.
Hey, slavery is illegal.
Yeah, okay.
Only if you do it wrong.
That's
So,
the
okay.
Beijing that making our iPhones.
Yeah, okay, so
I don't
let's
have an
get...
iPhone.
Or
Yeah.
Android, you know what I mean.
Yo, fuck you, America.
The Samsungs they make in South
Alright,
Korea.
Middle Eastern.
Okay. So, just to get into what we know about 76 so far. So it gets the name 76 from the vault it takes place in, which, if I didn't mention what the vaults were, John, you probably got a good handle on what they are just from our initial conversation. So basically, Vault Tech, which was this massive corporation that was basically in cahoots with the U.S. government to establish like civilization after the bombs inevitably dropped. They built these vaults, or basically cryogenic, not cryogenic. They're shelters. They're Fallout shelters, all over the country. Well, Fallout 4 was, but the other games in the series weren't necessarily set up that way. Like it. Yeah, so you can sort of surmise, like, the more you play the games, that these were all sort of experiments just to see, like, how humanity would react to certain conditions. It's basically laboratory testing conditions, like, in most of them. Yeah, so 4, like, all the people are cryogenically frozen. The only survivor is the main character, the player. 3, like, they basically lived in there throughout all of time, like, throughout the entire 200 years, just sustaining themselves as a society.
Alright. That's cool.
Yeah. And then in New Vegas, what vault is it? It's,
None.
9? Okay, yeah,
None.
that makes...
Oh, no.
No, the one in actual New Vegas. It's, like, converted into a hotel.
There's multiple.
Well, there's a bunch of
vaults.
them, but yeah. So a bunch of them are either abandoned, overrun by plant life. Like again, a bunch of shit happened to these vaults. They were each used for different purposes. That's what we know. So the point is, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So the
But
vault.
76 wasn't.
Yeah. So the main vault in Fallout 76 is Vault 76, which at least from what I can tell so far, it's not necessarily an experimental condition,
No, it's
or
not
at
at
least
all. It's a control vault. They oversee the others.
Okay, so that makes sense. Just it'll give us sort of interesting perspective.
Vault 76's job was to open 20 years after the bombs dropped and help reestablish society.
Yeah,
That was the lore. That's the lore in 3.
Okay, so yeah, so they do actually mention it.
Yeah, you
Great.
can explore Vault 76 in 3, but it's empty.
Okay, well that makes sense. I mean, this would 3 would take place like 150 or so years
Yeah.
after 76 opens. So yeah, it makes sense. So if we didn't mention it already, the game does somehow take place in West Virginia, which, there's not a lot there, so I'm kind of interested to see, like, what landmarks and shit they'll use. Yeah, exactly. Like, they could have gone basically anywhere else in the... Yeah, they could have gone basically anywhere else in the country, and it would have been a more interesting setting.
Like, I turned all down south right after...
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, like, a lot of the South... Yeah.
Next to nothing.
Yeah, well, look, I have family in the Deep South. Like, I have family in Arkansas, Missouri, Texas. Texas isn't really the Deep South, even if... Yeah, exactly. So, again, aside from, like, the major cities, there's not much down there. It's very much, like... Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm down.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. I mean, West Virginia's north enough that it's not completely bumblefucky, but
Alabama though.
Oh god, yeah. but yeah, I mean that's the weird thing. There's still not much there. Again, if you were to go down there in modern times, the people are at least good enough, but I don't know. There's not a lot of landmarks there, and considering the game itself takes place like, the actual map of the thing is supposed to be 4 times the size of Fallout 4, which is fucking insane to begin with, but, yeah, like, how the fuck are they gonna pull that off with next to nothing in this setting?
It's all missions, I heard.
Yeah.
Like, the Overseer gives you missions.
Okay, so there's gonna be some direct, vault response stuff. Yeah, are you looking this up, John?
No, what am I supposed to be looking up?
Just, like, plot details about Fallout 76. It's probably on the wiki if it's anywhere.
I don't think there's
Well, you
really
probably
a
know
story plot.
everything there is to know at this point. They're not going to reveal that much other than the game and the gameplay.
But that fucking sloth.
Oh, yeah.
Or the
I know what you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah, sloth monster.
Just, yeah, I mean, so... Oh, God, I hated that fucking thing.
What?
Yeah, and
What thing?
I was like
the spawn in Boston Common.
Like level 20 when I first playing Fallout 4. And I was just at him at like the very beginning because like I wanted that main weapon, but like I was just going at him at such a low level.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, if you go at it without any power armor with, like, low-level weapons, you're not going to stand a chance.
Yeah,
it's, like, at the very least... Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's nearly the strength of a Deathclaw, and, like...
Oh, fuck.
Again, you really don't have the weapons to deal with it.
Is there a Deathclaw in 76? Because I don't remember seeing it.
I can't imagine there was one in the trailer. I would be incredibly shocked if they didn't include a Deathclaw. Like,
what
in
is
the
that
actual
tooth
gameplay.
thing, though?
Tooth thing?
That big, really, like, hulking thing that doesn't really have a head?
I have no idea. I'm guessing a new creature that's specific to West Virginia, or something that they introduced just for the sake of having
like
some diversity
Mothman?
names.
Or Scorched Beast?
Yeah, something like that.
That's not Mothman.
Well, I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it's a new
I know,
character.
but I'm just saying that looks so fucking... Like, it looked cool when it was floating, but when they showed that actual, like, gameplay of it, of fighting it, that does not look like Mothman at all, unless he's supposed to be mutated.
Okay, well, I'd be anxious to see what they do with it. Obviously, we don't know too much yet about the actual gameplay. So yeah, just to get back to what we were saying, this is going to be the first game in the series that is multiplayer. Like, it's going to have multiplayer capabilities.
First, any Bethesda game.
Yeah. So obviously, we're all going to get it right away. We're all going to play it together. But so do you think that's going to sort of screw with the whole Fallout formula? Like, do you think? Like, I don't think they're getting rid of solo missions altogether. Like, I think you can play the game solo, and there's going to be NPCs you can interact with. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of online capabilities. They're going to face it like that. But again, that describes basically every PS4 game, every like good game within the last few years. So.
Well, no, not a lot of PS4 games have been single player.
Yeah.
Like God of War, Horizon, Last of Us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. That you, Eric? Okay.
Are we talking about the PlayStation presentation now? What?
What's up? I completely did not hear a word you just said.
I heard something about underwear.
Yeah, so did I.
I don't.
Okay, CJ.
Yeah.
I'm on the wiki right now. The game has been confirmed to have no interactive NPCs. Almost
Seriously?
all characters met by a player will be those of other players.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's kind of like always
game.
online like survival game. Like we had Rust. I think the Forest was one like that. Was another good example. H1Z1 was a survival game.
NPCs then.
Yeah, so do I. Okay. So I mean that's gonna be weird for the whole lore of the thing. I'd be anxious to see if they actually stick with that whole thing.
Here's what I think is interesting: the nuke feature.
Make more money.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. I mean, again, there's not too much we know about it. I think we've covered all the main stuff here.
I'll be happy.
Yeah. Oh, Yuri Lowenthal?
Yeah, because he was also.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
was.
good. I like
nice
that guy.
cameo.
Yo, that's Max Tennis.
Ben,
Ben.
you have to use your powers responsibly.
Yeah. We should do a Ben 10 episode at some point. We got to do a Ben 10 episode.
Now,
exactly, just
me.
like covering all of them, because there have been like 5 different Ben
I have
10
to go
series.
plumbing.
If you're not doing Alien Force, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Original series and Alien Force. Other than that, it all sucks.
Yep.
Ultimate Alien's okay, too. After that, it gets kind of shitty. I mean, Ultimate Alien's basically just Alien Force, but, with
Ultimate Aliens.
Exactly.
I stopped watching when they started breathing in space when they weren't aliens. I was like, yeah, right, I'm done.
It's because they're aliens
when
and
they're all like somewhat grown up.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
So
we should do a Ben 10 episode at some point.
Rugrats all grown up. Really? That's all
Ben
you got.
10,000.
Yeah.
Ben 10,000.
So, like,
10,000. Oh, then let's go. Accelerate.
We're all just ruining CJ's
yeah.
dialogue.
Okay, so not to cut us off here, we are like nearly out of time, or I shouldn't say nearly out of time, but we're going like to nearly 40 minutes. So
we're going into
should probably
overtime.
So
you're
yeah,
gonna cut most of this though. So.
yeah. So again, if we had anything else like purely Fallout related to mention here, we should probably get it out now. Otherwise, we'll have
what
more
kind of
episodes to have you guys
DLC?
on.
If they do have DLC, what kind of DLC are you gonna hope for?
Honestly, if it's purely multiplayer, it's going to be just new maps and shit. It's not going to be anything too impressive.
NPCs that don't.
Yeah. Honestly, I just hope some of the rumors are false. I do hope it sticks to the classic Fallout formula and does have more RPG elements to it. I hope it does have more NPCs, more like missions that you can complete without other people, I don't know. I feel like there should be a balance between the two. They shouldn't go, like, deep dive into multiplayer.
Well, if it's online only, you know what that means. It's time for some loot boxes.
This game...
yes. It's a builder-focused game, so they're going on the trend of Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to
Full
be...
disclosure, we are not sponsored by Lootbox.
Fort out.
Or not.
We do not have
Fallout.
enough subscribers.
No.
So
18.
be sure to go to lootcrate.com/utterlynonsense
Dude, I
to get your
barely talked
10%
for, like,
discount
5
on
minutes.
next month's... No, I'm not going to go there.
And that URL is completely invalid, so go ahead and try to
I won't
click
send
it.
any of the audio.
Uh,
Not gonna send any of the audio now.
So
for
just
that.
to quickly go over our general spiel and
To get this month's Fallout-themed loot box. No.
So, okay. So we are Utterly Nonsense. We are a podcast that does not do this for money. We're just a bunch of assholes who like to talk for a while.
Not the Irish one.
So you can find us... Yeah, thanks for being on, Eric. We really appreciate it.
Love you, Eric.
So, we are Utterly Nonsense. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, anywhere you get your podcasts. Utterly Nonsense.
Pornhub.
Check us out.
Oh, yes, we're looking into that for
yeah.
our future endeavors, if you know what I mean.
He said
Yeah,
it
so follow
different.
us, subscribe to us, like us, whatever. And without any further ado, 8-Bit Music, Play us out.
Bye.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.